Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Cowboys Nation. And we got some stuff to talk about today. We re signed Deron Bland to a 4-year deal. We'll get into that in a little bit here. We got some reports coming out of Dallas. We're going to go over it here. This specific report is Albert Breer from SI.com. And then we have I guess you can say a little presser or whatever with Prescott when he talked to the media about the Parsons trade. So we're going to hear from Dak for the first time. We're going to go over this little article that's talking about Micah. And then we will go over the Deron Bland extension. All right. First things first. Albert Breer out of SI.com, he is reporting that during this negotiation process with him and Jerry, obviously it was different compared to a lot of the other stars. He said here, there's a difference between this negotiation and the previous three. Zach Martin, CeeDee Lamb, and Prescott all were very popular within the locker room. That's a question mark there. Was Parsons not? And that's what he's saying. That's not the case with Parsons, who has rankled teammates in different ways, apparently. Seen by some as egotistical and self-centered, his podcast has created issues too that go all the way up to the quarterback Dak Prescott. Some of it spilled into Parsons' play. Previously, the defensive staff has trouble with him at times because he would play out of structure in an effort to make big plays, which led to the run defense issues Jerry and Stevens kept referencing at their press conference. It does happen with great pass rushers. It was just too common with Parsons. He again was too smart of a football player for these to be a string of honest mistakes. Was it worth it for the game-changing plays he made? Yes, it was. Again, this sort of problem with a pass rusher wasn't the first one a coaching staff has had to confront. Also, Dallas was clearly willing to do that with the initial offer, Parsons, in April. So, with that being said, apparently Parsons, his podcast, didn't sit well with members of the locker room. Even the staff was starting to have trouble with it. He seemed egotistical and self-centered. Me and a friend of mine that watch football together or whatever, we were talking about that all 2023-2024 season, especially with me being a big Cowboys fan. It was a big issue. He was constantly distracted. He was constantly downplaying certain teammates. I mean, I'm surprised this is the first that we're seeing about all of this. But I'm not surprised that people were thinking that he was egotistical and self-centered, because I even thought that. And I wasn't surprised that his podcast was causing issues within the locker room, and it was kind of spilling out into his play, because he would start the season very good, and then once it got towards the Thanksgiving game, he would disappear. He was non-factor. All right, let's see what this is going to be. Dak Prescott's first time speaking.
Reaction to Micah, you surprised?
Yeah, I
about the
was.
trade.
I can't say I was completely surprised, but I definitely didn't think he was going to get traded. I'll say that. But just with the way that their negotiations went down, obviously, to some extent, I mean, hell, y'all were asking me questions. It seemed like it got personal on their ends. So like that's why I wasn't surprised. But yeah.
From a team standpoint, is it a disappointment? Do you just we're better, or how do you look at it?
I mean, we added a great player. Obviously, got some picks for the future. I'm not going to say we're better. We've got to go out there and prove it. We'd have to prove it even if he was on this team. So I'm not going to say that by any means. But I know adding a guy like Kenny Clark, adding a true leader, a real man that's going to only elevate this team, who's been a Pro Bowl player and is excited about being here. I know our focus right now is Philly. I think that's everybody's focus in that locker room. I don't think anybody's hung up on that. As I said, there's enough news and enough media about it. I think as much as anything, it's good that a solution happened. And obviously Micah got paid very well, and great for him and his family. And we'll see him here in about a month. So just honestly glad that I can't say glad, but yeah, glad that we're moved past that, and everybody seems happy because of it.
You kind of alluded to it a little bit, but if there wasn't resolution, I guess would that have been hard to kind of deal with those things went on?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if nothing would have been done, we'd sit here and y'all still would have been asking me whether he was playing in a couple of days or when he was going to be playing. That would be a lot more of a headache and distraction than getting a solution to it. To Micah, yeah, we just shared messages right after. Wished him good luck.
What does it mean for you as a leader? Does it change much in terms of your voice, your leading voice on this team and moving on?
Not at all.
Dak, with the timing of the trade and everything, what was the message to the guys, given that you guys have a game in just a few days against the Eagles?
My message to the guys?
Yeah, right immediately after the trade.
I mean, I don't know if there was a necessary meeting or things needed to be said or handled or had. I mean, it was a very public issue that everybody could look on the internet or ask somebody or ask one of y'all and get a lot of intel or feelings about it that, like I said, it's just good to be past it. And as I said, both parties are happy.
Probably not surprise you, but you get picked by your teammates to be one of the captains. Just what does that mean to you?
Yeah, something I don't take for granted. It means a lot, one, just to get back to the year-long captains, getting to put the C on my chest. Something that I always, before I got to the league or, when I was a kid watching this game, used to love watching the quarterbacks.
Okay, obviously he talked a lot about other stuff, but that's really what I wanted to see. I wanted to see his thoughts on the Micah trade and everything. It kind of seems like he's not necessarily glad that he was traded, but glad that the situation was just settled, regardless of how it was turned out. That the situation there was a resolution, and I do agree. I think that that if we didn't trade him and we were still doing this back and forth, and we were going into week 4, and there was still no resolution, still back and forth, and they were still asking Prescott when Micah was going to play, that's going to be a huge distraction and a headache, and he's not wrong about that. And apparently, from what he said, it seems like everybody is happy that everything has been resolved and they're focused and ready for Philadelphia here in a couple days, because we've got them Thursday. That's literally 3 days from now. So I'm not displeased with what he said there. Now let's go over this Deron Bland. We re-signed Deron Bland. Let's see if I can find the stuff where we talked about him. There we go. Cowboys and Deron Bland reach it was a 4-year, $92 million. Okay, I got that graphic wrong. My bad. I was off by $2 million. A 4-year extension worth $92 million, $50 million guaranteed, including a $22 million signing bonus. This is pretty much like the money that we freed up from not signing Parsons, not extending Parsons or anything. We were able to extend one of our top corners, lock him up for 4 more years. So I like that, and I think we're gonna lock up even more. I think that money that we freed up is the next person that we're probably gonna sign is probably gonna be Tyler Smith. In 2023, he set the record with 5 pick sixes. That's incredible. I think that's a huge signing. Hopefully we can get Diggs back. Hopefully his knee is looking better. He has been cleared. He's been practicing and everything. So we will see how that plays out. But we've got QB number 1 locked up for 4 more years. No, not QB, CB. CB, corner. Locked up. 4 more years. I like that signing. That's a good move. Good job. And that was done quietly. There was no like back and forth or anything. Simple. Got it done. Look at him. Excited. Happy. Hell yeah. We got him till 2029. Let's do it. Get it. Oh yeah. Alrighty, Cowboys Nation. That's going to be all for me for this episode. I will see you next time. If we have any more breaking news, then I will see you guys later on today. If not, keep an eye out for tomorrow. DC for life.